little business meeting. I have a long list of things, but we're going to keep it as quick as we possibly can tonight, and then we're going to get on to the young people speaking to us. As we always do, we want to thank the City of Wilder for allowing us to use this facility tonight. Dan, where's Dan?
Our last meeting, the August meeting, was held at the Wilder City Building. The speaker for the evening was Brian Griffin, who gave a presentation on the history of Griffin Industries. Under reports, our treasurer's report, we had a balance on hand of $8,199.21. Current membership as of last meeting stood at 266. Newsletter, the September edition of the newsletter, which will be out at the end of August, so everybody should have gotten it by now. Regional History Day, Richard reported that the next Regional History Day is scheduled for March 14, 2020 at the Erlanger branch of the Kent County Library. Under Society Publications, a Day in Campbell County Book Project, Steve reported that the committee's completed organizing the 1800 pictures into 25 communities and is now refining the layout of the pages. The notification was sent to all photographers who submitted their photos. The topic of the October membership meeting will be the Wadsworth Water Company. A publication on the company is currently being developed and will be available for purchase following the meeting on October 10th. Under other business, Steve reported that the organization is planning a bus trip to Carillon Park on September 21st. The cost of the trip will be $35 per person and will include admission to the park. Those interested in joining the trip were encouraged to sign up early. Campbell County Senior Citizens Picnic will be held on Wednesday, September 25th from 11 until 3 at Pendry Park, and Society will have a booth at the event. And finally, the Silver Grove Reunion is scheduled for Saturday, September the 7th this year.
Donations and the Carillon bus trip, Kroger donation, and our interest from the bank of 37 cents. We took in $1,579.42. Expenses were materials for the museum and copier charges for the month, and then ID services that we paid for the Wadsworth book, $200. So expenses were $385.20, and we closed with $9,393.43.
A banner, a couple of girls' jerseys from softball and basketball, and a podium. Excuse me. Nick Cleves gave us 2 lapel pins. Jeannie Greiser gave us a Bishop Brossard 2013 alumni book, 2 copies of the 1965 Brossard Highlight Yearbook, and a Wadsworth Remembrance Day booklet from World War II. Pardon me. Dave Starman gave us a Mike Seek menu, an El Greco menu, 2 matchbooks from Beverly Hills, and a matchbook from El Greco. Dan O'Shagel gave us some newspaper clippings as well as 2 cameras. And David Newman dropped by with 2 binders of info on Melbourne and General County history. For History Day, our committee is meeting next Tuesday, the 17th, so I'll have a bigger update next month.
Chips, our essay winners are among those. We give them a free membership through 2020 for those who won the essay contest this year. Communications, we had a call. We might be getting as a new artifact, a cash register from Pete Neisser's Cafe in Alexandria. A granddaughter of his called and has that item and may be donating that to us. We've also received some information from, I think Steve's going to talk about the Silver Grove City reunion. They honored Chief John Sayer, and they gave us copies of what was said about him and with him that day, so that I'm going to publish some of that in the newsletter. The next one will be the January issue. It will have all of your membership renewal information enclosed in it. And anybody, you've got plenty of time to get articles to me. Anybody who wants to do an article, I don't need them till about December, so get those in if you've got an article to write. Oh, we did get a call. There are several veteran groups who, especially over in Europe, who are honoring fallen Americans from World War II. And they're trying to get names and pictures and obituaries and everything from here so that they can display it or honor them somehow over in Europe. I get calls from several different groups to see if we could find information on Campbell County, mostly young men who were killed in World War II. And we have found a lot of information for them and passed it on, and they've all been very grateful.
Very good, thank you. They're calling us, and we are able to help them. We have about 13,600 names in our files. I mean, there's just binder after binder of veterans that came through Campbell County. If you have somebody that was a veteran from Campbell County, love to have you do one of our veteran forms so that we can get that into our records.
I forgot something.
Okay. Your time is fast.
Yeah, there's going to be, in upcoming events, Hunting for History, the Ramage Museum over in Kenton County on September 21st is having a scavenger hunt. They will send you out to visit locations of Civil War related sites and places in northern Kentucky. So I guess you'll be driving around. You donate $10 a person and you will receive an equivalent gift certificate to the book sale when you return to the museum. And prizes awarded to the team who finds the most correct answers. So that sounds like a fun event. And then there will be an archaeology dig right there, I think, on the premises at Battery Hooper that the general public can participate in. So that's at Behringer Croft, or at Ramage Museum on September 21st, 10 to 5. Information's over here for later if you need it.
Or see me.
Or see Richard, yes. Kenton County Historical Society has several events coming up. I talked about most of them last month. Another activity on September 21st, today, Carl Leeds and I are going to speak on Lafayette's trip to our area of Kentucky. And that's going to be at the Erlanger branch of the Kenton County Library, 10:30. They're also having an antiques fair. You can bring your precious antiques and have them evaluated or assessed, and that's Saturday, October 26th at the Covington branch of the library. It didn't say a time, but you can check the Kenton County Library website for that. Then on November 16th, some metal detecting devices, some men who use them are going to present unseen treasures, discovering buried northern Kentucky history. That's at the Erlanger branch at 10:30 on the 6th.
The printer called me back and wants adjustments, and that's what we're doing. So, but the book was complete, and we put it in the can, and we transferred it to them, and they called back and they don't like some of the stuff that we did, so I'm having to adjust that. So, cross your fingers, and we'll have it in here hopefully the first of next week.
Very good. Best of luck. For those of you who are visitors tonight, what Glenn's talking about, next month we have a presentation on Wadsworth watch case that was down in Dayton, Dayton, Kentucky. And when Glenn and Pam put the presentation together, they realized they had a book. I mean, there was so much to tell about Wadsworth. And so they put it all together, and they're presenting a book now, or publishing a book now, that we hope to have available at the time of our meeting next month. The other book that we're in the midst of now, I don't know if you saw anything or not, we're doing one called One Day in Campbell County. And we put a request out for anybody, amateur, professional, to go out, and we picked one particular day, April 27th, And we said, go out and take pictures of every square inch of Campbell County. We had over 60 photographers out that day, and they submitted over 1,800 pictures to us. 1,800 pictures, a lot of pictures, let me tell you. But we've gone through them all. I'm in the midst of doing the layouts on it, and then I'm passing pictures on to Glenn to do some touch-up on some of the photograph, things where we have to take out like wires and things like that. And then Charlene's going to do some of the text that goes on there. That we hope to have available right around Christmas time or something, because I think that's going to be a nice gift type of thing. So that's in progress right now. I do want to touch at a sad comment in that most everybody I think knows at this point in time that one of our longtime members, one of our past board members, Mike Stahl, passed away. Actually, it was the day after our last meeting when Mike passed away. Mike was my wife's half-brother, and I didn't even know all the things about Mike that showed up in his obituary. This guy spent 20-some years in the military. He was a lieutenant colonel. After he got out of the military, he went to work for the Red Cross for 10 years. And then after the Red Cross, he retired back here to northern Kentucky. He was involved not only with our society, but with the Kentucky Genealogical Society, the Newport Alumni Association, and Friends of Evergreen. Mike was really, really involved and greatly missed, and our condolences to the family. Well, typical of Mike, though, one of the other things Mike did is he was maintaining a database of families of Campbell County so that you could connect people. You know, this person, these were brothers, these were sisters, these were children, these were grandparents. Mike had 400 and some thousand names in this database. It was immense. I talked to his son before the funeral service, and he said, I don't know what to do with all of this. And I said, give it to us. So we now have all of his work for 400 and some thousand names. And we have also passed that along to the Kentucky Genealogy Society so that they have it as well, so that all of that, you know, is available to everybody. Where am I? Oh, Jan talked about the Silver Grove reunion, which was last weekend. Great time. We went down there. We had a table down there. They were counting people through the door, but people were coming into the park from everywhere. I'm guessing there were close to 150 people there, including the workers and everybody. And that was during the day. Later on that night, we didn't stay, but they had a band and they had all sorts of stuff going on. It was really, really neat. I thank Jan and Richard for being there. And they did do a presentation. Johnny Sayers was the chief down there. He retired with almost 62 years of service with the police department. They said in the talk that the mayor gave that they know Johnny had the highest or the greatest amount of service in Campbell County and in Kentucky, but the Guinness Book of World Records is actually looking at it now to see if he had the longest record of any police officer in the world. 61 years, 11 months and something. No, he did 52 at Silver Grove and then 10 for Campbell County. So we'll be anxious to see all that, and hopefully that'll be out when Jan does the newsletter. On the 25th is the Senior Citizen Picnic down at Pendry Park. For anybody that's 55 or over, if you've never been there, go. It's a ton of fun, it's a lot of food, and it's just a good time. We will have a table there, and we'll have our photo albums, and everybody just kind of gravitates to all those photo albums and yearbooks and stuff like that. Okay, our road trip to Carillon Park. Has anybody been to Carillon Park before? Okay. I've been telling you what a fantastic place it is. Joe Manning just came up to me a little bit ago and he said, we just stopped by there a couple of weeks ago. We spent 4 hours there. It is an absolutely incredible museum center. If you're interested, on the 21st, a week from Saturday, we've got a bus. We're going up there. It's $35 a person. See Glenn if you're interested in going, okay? Also, I don't have the date on here. Newport is kicking off their 225th anniversary, the 28th, I believe, of September. That's going to be at the new Newport Museum that they've built on Southgate Street School, at the Southgate Street School. They didn't know a whole lot about it just yet, but they invited us, and so we're going to be there. Jan alluded to some of the veteran stuff that's coming up in November. Fort Thomas, anybody who goes through Fort Thomas, you've seen all the banners hanging on the street signs and everything. November the 9th, which is a Saturday, they're having a special presentation of all the people that have those banners up. They're setting up a big tent and all sorts of speeches and things like that. We'll be there as well. They've asked us to be there and have a table, and we'll have all our veterans forms there for people so that we can fill that up. Okay, we got through that pretty quick. Martha.
Yes. Good evening. Here we are again. Well, years gone by, and we're ready to honor our young people. What, put it closer? Yeah. Okay.
Or hard of hearing.
And every year, we all say, well, I didn't know that. We learn something new every year from their essays. They do a great job. So, keep them coming. Is it Fearman? Is that how you say it? Okay. She's in the junior division, first place. And her essay was titled Real Life Rosie. I guess that's Rosie the Riveter. Okay, great. All right. There you are.
Many people have heard or seen of the iconic American hero, Rosie the Riveter. Most people, though, probably do not think that there are still women living who had worked in World War II, which was very rare for the time. In the original propaganda of Rosie, she is captured with a red bandana, flexing and saying, "We can do it." Her fictional character was first created in 1940 to encourage women in the U.S. to join the workforce for World War II. Many people were first skeptical about the idea of women working outside the house. But when First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt urged the necessity of working women, the idea was fully accepted. At the end of 1945, more than 35,000 women were working in factories. Most women earned less than 50% of the average man's salary. Many people used to think that fixing trucks, building airplanes, nursing hurt soldiers, or even fighting the war was just a man's job. The Rosie propaganda definitely promoted women's work outside of the house, and has definitely changed America. So many women were willing to work for our country and step up to make a change. Many of these women's lives were changed and impacted just by working outside their home. Campbell County would not be the same without all of these working women. Not very many women from Campbell County worked in World War II. I respect and thank all these women very much. And as cool as it would be to know a real-life Rosie, it would be even cooler to be related to one. I just happen to have a real-life Rosie as my great-grandmother, Virginia Gerolstein. Mary Virginia Kramer was born on April 12, 1926, to George and Mary Kramer. She grew up on a family farm in Silver Grove with 5 siblings: Elizabeth, Irene, Loretta, George, and Bob. She helped out with the farm the most, being the oldest of 6, until she got her first job at Kresge's department store in Newport. She worked in the infants department for about a year until her mom said she needed to get a higher paying job. At the time, her dad had been working at Wright's Aeronautical Factory in Laughlin. She sent in an application to the factory, and they accepted her right away. On her first day, she was terrified to go to a new job and work that far away, but she knew that the money would help out her family. She was only 16 years old when she first started working at Wright's. She and her father rode to Wright's in someone else's car because her family's car was so run down. She rode with George T-Meyer's sister and cousin, and her dad. It was an hour drive to the factory every day, and she worked the second shift, 4 to 12 o'clock. She told me that on her first day, everyone, even the men, were kind to her, walked up to greet her, and told her to ask for help anytime. This shows me that everyone wasn't treated so poorly, and people respected women, even then. She worked in an assembly line with mostly other women who worked on different parts of the plane. Her job was to grind down the cam, the front nozzle part of the engine, so that it would fit perfectly on the plane. She worked at Wright's for 2 years during World War II. She told me, the day the war was finally over, they sent us all home, and we didn't ask any questions. The factory closed that day and has not been actively used since then. When her and her father got home, she knew right away that she had to get a new job. She then got a job at Dalton's in Newport, a women's apparel shop. She worked there for a while and became very fond of her boss. He treated her like family. He even bought her wedding dress for her because she could not afford her own. Virginia married Edwin Gerhardstein on June 7, 1947. World War II is how they met. What I mean by this is that my great-grandpa Ed was in the war too. Obviously, she did not actually meet him during the war because he was stationed in the Philippines. They knew each other when they were growing up in Silver Grove because they were neighbors. Virginia's mother knew that Ed was away for the war, so she had asked Virginia to write him letters. At first, my grandma said she was not sure what to write a man in a war who was 10 years older than her. She decided to tell him about what was going on in the neighborhood. He told me those letters really cheered him up. I never really knew how much a little girl from his small town could affect him, she told me. Even today, my family goes back and reads the letters that Ed wrote to Virginia and to his parents. My grandfather once wrote to his parents, "I got one letter today. It was from Virginia Kramer. Maybe you can put a little wise her way. Her 3-cent letters always take about 5 weeks longer to get here." Unfortunately, all the letters Virginia wrote to him were destroyed in the Philippines because all written documents had to be destroyed. After the war was over and my grandma stopped working at Wright's, they met up and started hanging out. At the time, my grandma had been dating another nice man, but she chose my grandfather over him. I'm glad she made that decision. Virginia and Edwin married on June 7, 1947, and moved to a small house in Silver Grove. They later had 10 children, my grandmother, Anne, being the oldest. She and Ed had fostered many children while raising 10 other kids. They later adopted my Uncle Donnie after fostering him for many years. Many of the other children they fostered are very close to our family today, like my Uncle Brian. Virginia worked at home for most of her midlife, raising all of her children. She later got a job at Holy Family Nursing Home in St. Anne's Convent in Melbourne. She worked there for 31 years and retired when she was 89.
Wow.
My great-grandpa Edwin died on February 11, 1998. Although it was hard for all the family, everyone was there for my grandma. My family has been so very supportive in everything, and I trace that back to my grandma and grandpa. They've raised their children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren to love, respect, and care for everyone. Today, my great-grandma has 10 kids, 39 grandchildren, and 51 great-grandchildren. She still lives in the same house she raised all of her children in Silver Grove. My great-grandma is one of the most loving, experienced, humble people I know. She's my idol, and I've already learned so much from her. Her life definitely would not be the same if she had not worked at Wright's Aeronautical Factory, because because it taught her how to work hard for something that she knew would help her family. The most interesting thing I've learned about my grandma when I had interviewed her was that she had no idea how important her job was, or why everybody was so fascinated with the fact that she was a Rosie the Riveter. She told me, "I did not feel like being a woman working in the war was so special, because I felt like it was my job to step up and help my country and my family." My great-grandmother, Virginia Gerritstein, is so amazing, and this is why I want her story to be told. Her past and present life are so inspiring, and I look up to her in everything she does. I love her so much and want to say thank you for being my real-life Rosie and teaching us that no matter how hard things seem, we can do it.
Evan Callahan.
The Campbell County Public Library is a very significant thing. Even though it was established way back when, our library helped residents of Campbell County save millions of dollars by letting us rent books and other things instead of buying them. The library also has a lot of history behind it too. You may not believe it, but the first branch was built 123 years ago. In 1896, the tax levy passed for a library to be built in Newport. This was the first branch of the whole Campbell County library system. 2 years after the tax levy gave them the tax money for the library, Newport used the old Newport Mutual Fire Insurance Company building where 4th Street and Monmouth Street meet. This was the city's very first no-pay library. Andrew Carnegie was the main person who helped fund for the library. He donated $20,000 to help build the rest of the library. The project ended up costing $25,000, so Andrew Carnegie paid for most of the library. The Newport Library was the very first library of the 23 libraries that Carnegie opened in Kentucky. It was opened on June 25th of 1902 on 4th and Monmouth in Newport. In 1956, Congress passed the Library Service Act, which is an act that leads the way for county-wide library systems. The Kentucky State Library offers grants to counties that established county-wide systems. In 1968, a petition that was submitted to Congress for a Campbell County library system was denied. In 1971, Betty Daniels leads a group of women to establish a 2-room library in the Shaw House of Fort Thomas. Later on, in 1973, the library in Fort Thomas was moved from its original spot to the former Herschel Funeral Home at 155 North Fort Thomas Avenue. In 1976, residents of Campbell County used the grant money given to us from the state of Kentucky on making the establishment of demonstration libraries. Later that year, the Alexandria branch of the library was held in the basement of the city building. On September 5th, 1978, the Campbell County Public Library System, or the CCPL, was established. More than 51% of the voters signed the petition for a county system. Campbell County Judge Executive Lambert Hale signed the document and the library board met for the first time. The very next year, CCPL bought and took over the Carnegie building that was working as the city library. In December of 1984, the Cold Spring branch was opened, and service at the Alexandria Library, located in the basement of the Alexandria City Building, was postponed. The Newport Library was taking on major renovations like installing air conditioning and moving the children's department to upstairs. Almost 10 years later, the building for the St. Thomas branch was built. That same year, the library system automated its entire collection. The next year, in 1976, the Cold Spring Library was increased in a size to 14,500 square feet. In 1997, internet is finally available in the Cold Spring Library. In 1998, internet is available in all 3 locations. Fort Thomas was expanded to 15,000 square feet, doubling its capacity. The CCPL celebrated 100 years of library service with a celebration at the Carnegie Building. In 2003, a new building for the Newport branch is being built. The next year, on May 16th, the building was finished and it ended up 27,000 square feet. That same year, the first long-range plan was created. The next year, the long-term plan, or PDF, was updated, and the library started opening on Sundays. In 2007, the Cold Spring went through a long 3-month renovation process. The PDF is updated yet another time. In 2008, planning is started to make a south bridge in the city of Alexandria. A lawsuit was filed in January 2012 that held public libraries should be following Kentucky revised statute. Libraries have been following KRS 132 in setting their annual tax rates. In April 2013, Campbell Circuit Court ruled in the plaintiff's favor. CCPL filed an appeal. The CCPL board agreed to the new long-range plan of the library system. In 2015, the library launched its first app, which is leading to the Campbell County's library to its digital future. An online and paper survey in the 3 September 23rd public meetings have already given people a say in creating a new library long-range plan, Morgan said. The deadline for taking the survey was September 30th. CAM, the library's mascot, was introduced. The system won court votes for a tax case. The Kentucky Court of Appeal ruled on March 19th. Libraries acted in good faith with the law in determining annual tax rates. Plaintiffs argued the state law passed by the Kentucky General Assembly in 1978, dictating how boards and taxing authorities can raise taxes, did not include libraries. Libraries argued that they were following the intent of the 1978 law by allowing board members to vote upon tax rates. Electronic marquees or signs are put up at each library in 2017. January 13th, Campbell County is looking for a new place for a library. A 4th library location for Campbell County will ideally be south of Main Street in US 27, about 6 miles or more from the Cold Spring Library, from the Cold Spring Ranch. At 3,920 US 27. According to a library news release, the library still owns 3.5 acres fronting US 27 at 10,045 Parkside Drive, Alexandria. Purchased for $450,000 in 2007. The library's board has made no plans to begin construction since voters requested a library tax increase in 2012 to pay for a new $5 million branch building. December 13th, the date is set for a library opening in Alexandria. In 2012, Campbell County voters rejected a property tax increase to pay for a 19,000 square foot New South branch by a vote of 24,000 to 14,545. A New South branch would replace the mini branch in Alexandria. The Alexandria Library is open on January 16, 2018. The 3,000 square foot leased library space is smaller than typical libraries, 5 times its size in Cold Spring, Fort Thomas, and Newport. Library spokesman Kiki Drewerberg said Kiki Drewerberg. On June 6, 2018, the Kentucky Supreme Court declined in library's petition to reconsider the appellate court ruling and declined the motion for discretionary review introduced by the plaintiffs. Alexandria branch of Campbell County Public Library enjoys brisk use during its inaugural week. People who live in southern Campbell County have a new library and waste no time whatsoever using it. Over 1,000 items were checked out of the Alexandria branch library in its first week alone. Some items that are held at the Alexandria branch are books, audio, magazines, CDs, and DVDs, and even laptops can be rented. Of course, the library hasn't done much of anything new in 2019, so this is the most updated of all my sources. Do you see now how much history is actually behind a regular old library? So I hope you enjoyed learning about the Campbell County Public Library.
Madison Peters, and she is a senior honorable mention. The great tragedy at the Beverly Hills Supper Club. So, sorry about that. We'll get to read it maybe in a junior honorary mention. And it's on how Katie Stein impacted Campbell County.
Excuse me, Luke. I'd like to introduce somebody to you.
There she is.
Is this a good story or a
This is Katie Stein.
Nice to meet you.
Campbell County, Kentucky has a rich history. There are many significant events that occurred in this area, and there are many important figures from Campbell County. One of these important figures is Miss Katie Stein. It takes a unique, selfless person to dedicate his or her life to improving the community and quality of its citizens. These qualities describe Miss Stein. She has chosen to demonstrate the significance of her actions in Kentucky. To begin, Miss Katie Stein was born on December 6, 1956 in Covington, Kentucky. She received her bachelor's degree from the University of Cincinnati and later received her law degree from Northern Kentucky University's Chase Law School. Stein currently lives in Southgate, Kentucky, and is married to Campbell County Circuit Judge Fred Stein. She has 2 children. Notably, Katie Stein left her impact in Kentucky with her outstanding representation of this county in her 20 years as the Kentucky State Senator and her public service work. She will forever be remembered for her dedication, work ethic, and moral values that made her an important figure who has highly impacted Campbell County. It is important to point out that Ms. Stein is best known for being a longtime Republican member of the Kentucky State Senate. She served the 24th District as Senate member from 1999 to 2015. She was one of the most powerful and influential Senate members during that time. While her work in the Senate was very impressive, her most outstanding achievement to date was being named the first woman elected as the Kentucky Senate President Pro Tem, a prestigious position voted on by other members of the Senate. Before she was elected as a state senator, Katie Stein was a member of the House of Representatives from 1995 to 1998. While serving in the House, she successfully passed a bill to end abortion. This was an issue that she was very passionate, and she continued to fight for her life throughout her years as a politician. Stein once said, "I have worked hard for the pro-life." She fought for what she believed in and was honored to serve the people of Kentucky for all those years. In an interview from 2014 with PBS nearing the end of her career, she stated that it was not always easy, but she wouldn't have done anything differently. In addition to her specialized service as Senate President Pro Tem, Ms. Stein also held positions such as Vice Chair of the Committee of Committees, the Rules Committee, and the Judiciary Committee. These were all very important positions that allowed her to push her agenda and represent the 24th District well throughout her 20-year career. In addition to her anti-abortion movements, she fought on issues such as boosting conservative fiscal policies, improving education for minorities in Kentucky, and overall creating a more efficient and productive communities. Stein was well respected by her colleagues, such as Senate President Robert Stivers. Following the announcement of her retirement, Stivers said that Stein paved the way for the fight in many issues, even stating, "Katie Stein is a trailblazer in many respects." As he later said, she was a defender of the unborn, the taxpayer, and believed the school system was the center of the community. For example, Stein helped establish the Kentucky Center for Mathematics at Northern Kentucky University so that after-school clubs could be established to help struggling students. This was, along with her being Senate President Pro Tem, shows the impact that she left on her fellow politicians and citizens in the state of Kentucky who had the privilege of working with her throughout her 20-year career. Stein was able to amplify the voice of Campbell County in her time in the Senate. She was a leader and always took every party into account, representing everyone, not just one class of people. This kept her around for those 20 years and earned her the position where she could use her skills to better benefit and represent the whole state as Senate President Pro Tem. Throughout her whole career, she fought and stood by the same principles. She never elected to take the easy way out, even though that could have made her high-stress job less stressful. She knew the responsibility of position and held and honored it. A true leader by example. Katie Stein was a very brave and courageous senator who helped Kentucky become what it is today. In 2014, Stein decided to step down from her post in the government after serving the remainder of her term. Many factors played a role in this decision. One was that she had accomplished all that she could in her 20 years. She felt the position would benefit from a new voice and new ideas. Her aging 92-year-old father also played a role in the decision. Knowing that a person could only live so long, she wanted to spend time and take care of her father. After all, she probably didn't get to spend as much time with him as she would have liked as the result of the major commitment it takes to be in the Senate. The Kentucky Senate meets on the first Thursday after the first Monday in January, depending on the year. Either meet for 60 days in even-numbered years, or for only 30 days in odd-numbered years. On top of that, she had committees and many other groups for the Kentucky state government that took even a larger chunk of time. In conclusion, Ms. Katie Stein was a near-perfect senator. Her impact will be felt in Campbell County for much time to come. She positively impacted Campbell County with her 20 years as the Kentucky State Senate, amplifying her voices in the government. Her selfless dedication to the community will not be soon forgotten. Looking back now, no one would have predicted 20 years ago that this unknown senator would have such a big impact and climb the ranks in order to
Hang on a minute. Stay up there, buddy.
Look, when I die, I'm just hoping you're available to come. I'm hoping sometime soon. Thank you. I couldn't have written it better myself. And I didn't even pay him to do this.
Look at me. One more, just in case. Have her turn around too.
Turn around and show everybody. Turn around and let them know Steve. Thank you very much.
Okay, I got, give me. A couple of folks asked about the essay contest. The essay contest has been around for 11 years now, okay? And the essay contest was born out of an idea from Dr. Steely's wife, Martha Pelfrey, okay? And Dr. Steely was Northern Kentucky University's founding president back when it was Northern Kentucky State College, and he scraped together all of the buildings and actually got things rolling, okay? And a consummate educator, why the Historical Society, with its close association with Martha, thought the essay contest would be an excellent way to serve as something to remember him by. Our mission statement is to foster and promote public knowledge of interest in the history and the culture of people of Campbell County, related areas through the collection, preservation, interpretation, documentation, and exhibition of written and tangible materials. And that's the Society's mission statement, okay? The essay contest embodies every bit of that, okay? Every bit of that. It identifies historical elements that are close to the students, things that happened in Campbell County. The essay contest is a written document of what's going on. So the essay contest winners are really a group that we're proud of, and we wish we could get more participation. Okay, and I'd like to thank Martha because she not only helps us along with this, but she also provides a significant portion of the financial support for our prizes. Each of our winners received a various cash donation and or a gift card of some sort. So along with their certificates and a membership line, they got a small monetary amount.
I'm not so sure that was my idea. I thought Charlene had the idea, so it was great, but it's worked so well. We're really proud of this project, so thank you all.
As Steve asked, I want you to show of hands, who has heard of Family Search? If you come to these meetings, I talk about it every month, so you should know. Keep your hands up. Now, if you've actually used it, keep your hand up. If you've not used it, put your hand back down. So a lot of people here have not heard about or used Family Search. If you do any genealogy at all, you want to know about Family Search, okay? I'm going to try to go through this quickly since we're never quite sure how many students will come and read their essays. We had 3 tonight, so I'm going to go quick so I don't keep you all too long. Okay, so we are going to tell a little about it since a lot of you don't seem to know about it. It's free from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It's the largest genealogy organization in the world. Access to billions of records, and it's growing all the time. They're always adding more. You can access many more records now from your home PC or laptop. And it's free. Ancestry costs you money. This is free, okay? All right, how do you get there? You don't have to travel. You can sit in your bed propped up with your pillow and your PJs with your laptop. You can get to Family Search. You have to go to any internet browser, type in familysearch.org, and hit enter. When the site opens, you do have to sign in. a difficult sign-in process. Oh,
Changing screens.
it's not going to the internet screen. Anyway, all they want is your name and you give a password. They don't want your social security number or any of that stuff. It's very simple. Okay, it looks like this. That's the screen. Okay, up at the top, I've already signed in under my name and password. So, if you're just starting, you want to go to the search button and you want to search records. One says this connection is a little slow. It's coming. And I'm going to skip through some of this, but when you put in a name of an ancestor, you're going to get tons of hits that will come up, okay? I'm going to put in my third great-grandfather, Nicholas Blau. From the Camp Springs Blaus. Oh wait, I just want Nicholas there. I'm going to put Blau down here. And then we're going to, I know when he was born, it was in Germany, and it was about 1801. Okay? And I know that he died in 1858. So I'm going to click on death. It was Campbell County. And see, there comes Campbell County, Tennessee. I don't want that. Be careful. You got to make sure you get Campbell County, Kentucky here. Okay, and he died in 1858. Okay, that's all the information. Even if you don't have that much information, just see what happens. Scroll down and click search. It's working. No, it's asking me to sign in here. Oh, I was probably out for too long. Okay, it's working, and here comes 52 results for Nicholas Blau. Look at all that. And that's just the first page. Now, a lot of it is mixed up, okay? One of their new features that they have is called the, okay. It's called the edit, not the edit, his similar historic record. Okay. If you click on his name, this is for his find grave, and he's buried in Camp Springs. It says no similar records found down here at the bottom. Okay, well, that means right now his search engine isn't matching up anything with him. But let's go down a little bit and see if we can find. There's a couple Nicholas Blaus that I know are not him, because that's not his wife. Okay, those two. But here's one that says Anna Maria Cromer. Well, I know it was Kramer. Somebody got it wrong there. And we'll see what comes up. Now, there's similar, oh, there they are. Similar historic records. This is going to save you time because it'll group the records together. Okay, the first group of 52, we already saw that the first 3 or 4, well, 2 of them weren't even for him. But this is going to probably be closely related to him. And I've already looked at these. And these are all, he had a big family. A lot of these are his children, okay, who were born in Rhineland, in Trier, Germany. Okay, so you can go into those and click and find out all about them. We're not going to do that right now because it would take too much time. But it helps you when these records, you get 100 or 1,000 hits, you feel like you're drowning in all of it and you can't wade through it all. You can get lost trying to figure it all out. It kind of organizes it for you. with the similar historic records. Okay, and you won't find them on everybody, but a lot of people do. Okay? Another new feature is the edit function. Did you ever go, those of you who have used it, if you've seen data on an ancestor of yours and you know it's wrong, it drives me crazy. And I want to fix it. And I want to tell people I've done this research and this isn't right. Well, now you can edit some records on Family Search. Okay? It doesn't change the original, but it adds it as a note. Okay? They'll put a note next to, and your note will appear when someone else searches. So this is very helpful for other researchers. And if there's, things in an original document can be wrong. Things on a tombstone can be wrong. I have seen it. So that would be an original error. Then there's the person who transcribed the record. They could have made a mistake. And it's not their fault. They couldn't read the writing. They didn't know your family and how it was spelled. So a lot of things can go wrong. But now you can correct it. I think our time is short, and I'm going to go to, we're going to go back here, and I'm going to try real quick to bring up another one. I'm going to type in a different person. We're going to go to Charles Price. Actually, no, I think I'll go to his wife first. Charles and Bertha Bruce, not Price, it's wrong. They put their name down as Price, but it was Bruce. I'm going to put his wife in. Bertha Burkhardt was her maiden name. And she was born in Germany also, but she was born in 1838. And we're going to not put her death in. We're going to put her residence. So you can put all different things in if you know where she lived. She lived in Campbell County. Okay, it came up Kentucky this time. He's kind of reading my mind, which sometimes is good, sometimes is not. We're not going to put that death in. And we're going to just update that search. It's going to bring her up. Given me 2,210 results. I can't wade through all that. I think I've ever put her death in here. Her death was 1937. Okay, let's see if that helps us.
One of the things you check on the side whether you want exact information or not. So it's actually exact.
Yes, you can check and it'll be exact and it will narrow it for you. So we just check that. And now, let's see, this is the one we want. This is a birth record. Let's see. Actually, let's take the first one. Let's do this death record. There we go. Again, the Pruss name is misspelled. It says Carl Pruin as her husband. But there's nothing there that lets me change it. But if we go down to this line, there's an edit button. If you click that edit button, you can add a change note to this record. Okay? Well, first, there's the death certificate for my great-grandmother. Carl Pruss and Bertha were her grandparents. Okay, so I'm going to bring that bigger. And you can see down here where Philomena's parents are listed, it says Father Carl. Now look at that carefully. I don't think it says Pruitt. I think it says Pruss, but the Y in Kentucky obscured it. But I know that it said Pruss. So this is not a transcribe, well, it is a transcriber error because the person who filled out the death certificate originally did it correctly. Okay, somebody who transcribed this did it wrong. So, first it says select a reason. It's not wrong in the document. It's indexed incorrectly. And then I can type a message. I can say the surname was Prus, not Price. Okay? And then I have to highlight the full name that's wrong. I just click and, well, that's loaded. I'm just going to see if I can drag. It's not letting me drag. Highlight the full name. There we go. Highlighting his name, and then I click save. At least one, oh, yeah, because I have to make this say Bruce. Now, I can save. Okay, and then in a few minutes, we won't do it now, but you can go back to that, and that note will appear there. Okay, and it'll have that name highlighted. So that is a really good feature. I know there's a lot of them I got to go in and add notes to whenever I have time to do that. Okay, that's the edit function. And right now, you can only change people's names. You can't change dates yet. They say that it's coming. And I looked around, you can't really change things in a census record. I don't know why, but there were no edit buttons. But in like a death certificate or a birth certificate, there are. So you can make some changes. Finally, the catalog. Okay. The catalog at Family Search is just like the library card catalog. All the holdings at Family Search Library worldwide, it lists every book, microfilm, digital record that they have. They are converting all their films to digital records so that you can see them on the computer. Used to be, you had to order a film. If you had like a film from France that you wanted to see, you had to order it from Family Search in Salt Lake to your local family history library. There's one here on Buttermilk Pike. Charlene manages that center. There's one in Cincinnati. But you had to order the film in, then when it came, they would call you. You had to go there. You had to put the film on their microfilm readers and sit there and read it and copy the records that you wanted. Now you can see many of them as digital images on your computer, or some of them on our computer at the library or at an affiliate, which our Historical Society is an affiliate library. And when we go into this, you'll see the records, and they have little icons that show you which ones you can see. So there'll be a little camera if it's one that you can get to. If it's got a key on top of it, that means you have to view it at one of the family history libraries. Okay? And if it just has a film reel, that means they haven't digitized it yet. So we're going to go in. It's really good for court order books, probate records. I have found people's wills. Instead of going to the clerk's office, searching through the books, putting those big books on the little bitty copier, this can make it easier. Now, you do have to do a little more searching to do this. Okay, so we're going to close that. We will go. Okay, up here at the top, we went into records already. We're going to go down to catalog. I like to do a place search. You can search by surnames or books or other things, but what has helped me the most is to type in, we're just going to stay local. You can go across the pond and get records from Europe, from Italy, from everywhere. But they're going to be hard to read because they're old and in an unfamiliar handwriting. They're going to be in an unfamiliar language unless you speak that foreign language. So start with something close to home. Campbell, United States, Kentucky, Campbell. That's what we want. And then we're just going to click any available, and we're going to do search. Look at all that stuff that comes up from Campbell County, Kentucky. A lot of it I don't even need because we have a very good Gen website. Thank you very much, Shirlene. Every county in the United States has a Gen website. You can go there and get a lot of records. On our Campbell County site, a whole lot of records. And you can get census records easier in other places instead of here. But I want to find a court record for my Nicholas Blau that I put in. I saw on our Gen website in an index that he was naturalized in Campbell County. Now I could go to the clerk's office and go through the books, but there again, this is at home. I want to get this certificate right away at home. So I'm going to look. I know that the index told me that he was naturalized in 1848. And the index also told me it's on page 317. So I've got two good helps here. So, 1848. Okay, if I scroll down, this would be the year 1791 to 1914. So I'll click that one. And we're going to scroll down. And it says somewhere that there's 10 microfilm reels. So here they all are listed. And look to the right, everyone has a camera that we can go in and see those records on our own home computer. So this one has the year 1848. We'll click on that camera. Here they come. And it says there are 558 of these. Now, am I going to go through every single thumbnail here and make it bigger? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to click on that one. That's court ordered book 4. It only goes to 1842. That's not what I want. I'll go back to the thumbnails. I'm going to go way down here. That's what says 4. I know it'll be near the end of the roll, so sometimes I get ahead of this little thing here, but just keep scrolling down. I'm just going to click on one here. It'll keep going down for me. And you see, you can enlarge this, you can make it bigger. This is 1838, it looks like. So I got a ways to go. Back to the thumbnails, just keep going down. If you have lots of ancestors in Campbell County, you can look through these court records. But check the indexes first. If you check the index first, then you'll know right where to go. It might take you a little bit. No, that was just the last one that I clicked on. Okay. network here, so it's a little slower. They do have some cemetery records. Chuck Taylor here with us tonight has just been going through the St. Joe's Camp Springs cemetery records. We have a listing of them on our Gen website, but Chuck is a member of that parish and has found many, many more burials in that cemetery. He hopes to have them online soon.
End of the year.
Jan, if you know the number, you can type it in that white box.
I don't know see, this page doesn't, there, we're at the end of the roll. We're gonna go right here and see what page this is. The image page does not correspond to the page in the book. The page in the book was 317. Now this is all blurry. Let's try another one. Error loading. Okay, try again. There we go. 250, I'm not far enough. Let's try here. (1848), July 24. Oh, I'm just two pages ahead, so now I can just go back one page. Let's see if this is 317. That looks like 319. Maybe I was too far. This takes some patience and some playing around with. Okay, this is the page. It's pretty clear. And I'm going to scroll down. This first one is not the one. This is a Meyer, someone named Meyer. This is someone named Stillwell. And there we go. Nicholas Blau, blah, 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 was made a citizen of the United States. It'll eventually come in clearer, but I printed it out for my records. There we go. There it came in, so that I have that original document. Okay. That's pretty much. There's a lot. You gotta be brave enough to go out there and play with it a little bit, and have some fun with it. Okay. Does anybody have any quick questions? How many want to go try it now? Yay, somebody does. Okay, there's a few people who do. All right. Well, if you get stuck, let me know. I can try to help you. Thanks, Jeff. My own computer doctor helps me out with all these wires and machines. So. Thank you.
Just want to run through our upcoming meetings next month. I think it's going to be a really big meeting and a very nice meeting, a good meeting, an informative meeting. We're meeting at St. Bernard Church down in Dayton, and that's on the Wadsworth watch case.
Is that in the basement, or where are they going to have it?
Yeah, we're in the
Cafeteria?
what is it? Garvey Hall. Okay. And that'll be at 7 o'clock on October the 10th, okay? November the 14th, we're back here, and Jerry Delaney is giving us a presentation on veterans and military and so on and so forth, since it is Veterans Day that week. And then December 12th, we'll be back here for our holiday social. Okay, you're welcome, all of you, to attend any of those. And that's all I have. Anything else?